In 2009, I was coming back with Keith from a conference, Keith Molenaar, and he recommended to create an innovative contracting advisory committee. And that was the best thing, in my opinion, that ever happened, where I'll talk a little bit more about it. A bunch of contractors and consultants and CDOT folks, FHWA, combined forces and brainstorm some great ideas and create a forum for recommendations on innovative contracting projects. One of our deliverables and one of our proud achievements is this matrix that we're going to talk about today. Yes, actually we feel we're pioneers in developing this matrix because we've researched this topic and there has not been any other state or any other federal entities that have developed this matrix, basically to choose the best project delivery method for a particular project. So what we did is we combined efforts with the Colorado University CU Boulder with Professor Molenaar, who's also going to be presenting, as well as with the industry, Mark Scholfield, my partner, that's also going to be presenting. And we put our head together and came up with this matrix, which basically, again, provides look at some risks, some of the risks involved on particular projects, and provides a tool to the program managers and project engineers to choose this to choose the best project delivery method. So it's not been done nationwide. I know there's efforts to do it, but we feel that we're the first to do something like that. That's why we felt that it's important to present it in this conference.
Thanks for the opportunity to talk with you today. I really appreciate it. As an academic, I'd say I do research in project delivery. I teach in a civil engineering program and do research in project delivery, and people ask me what that means. Well, I have to give a plug for the Design Build Institute of America. I've been involved since 1995, and a lot of the really good innovations in our industry have come from this organization and from conferences just like this. I think we learn a lot about design build, but we also learn innovations that help all of our projects. When we don't have a structured process to choose a delivery method, I think people can get caught in an analysis paralysis, kind of just talking about too many different elements. What this really does is promotes a structured discussion. Okay, you're going to see there's no formulas in this. There's no, it's very much a tool to promote a structured discussion and have the decision makers make the decision for their project, because each project is so very unique and there are so many different flavors of design build and the different delivery methods. Then the last thing is it really promotes organizational learning. I think Nabil talked to you a little bit about the history there. CDOT is actually one of the longest users of design build, yet when we're doing these workshops, when Mark and Nabil are out doing these workshops with the regions, there are still people in CDOT who have never used design build. And so they need some structured organizational discussions and some training that goes along with it. So we really wanted to create something a little bit more concise and direct with CDOT. And as Nabil mentioned, we did this through a team. We have what's called the Innovative Contracting Advisory Committee. And once a month, we get together and tackle some of the really difficult issues. We have, sometimes the legal staff comes in. It's pretty interesting. I know the Contractors Association and the engineers each have shadow committees as well that kind of meet after we meet to discuss some of the things that we talk about. But it's really propagated everybody in the community talking about alternative delivery. So how does it work? This is my busiest slide, but I'm very happy that we were able to get it all on one slide. Okay, this is the entire delivery selection. You first go through a project description checklist. Okay, just a simple one-page summary of what's important for project delivery about a project. Okay, you can take a scoping document. That's a very early document in the project delivery process, and make just this simple one-page highlight that gives you really the key project parameters to understanding the project for the delivery selection. The next, and I think the most important part, and I know there's a lot of design builders in here and a lot of owners who've gone through this, is developing a crisp set of project goals that show priority, because you need to know those project goals when you write the RFP and when contractors and design builders propose on these projects. They need to be able to make trade-offs and understand those project goals. And then, ideally, when the project managers actually implement the project, they're all still working towards those project goals. If you don't have a set of crisp project goals, don't go on to the next selection piece, is what I would say. Don't decide your delivery method if you don't know your crisp project goals yet. So we take a lot of time, and we have some advice in that, in the guide, and go through that. From there, there's some kind of go, no-go factors, and also an evaluation of 4 primary factors. What's the delivery schedule? How complex? And what's the need for innovation on the project? What's the level of design where you are already? If you sit down and you have 60% of the design done already, you're going to be pretty limited in the types of project delivery methods you can choose. And then what has been done for an initial project risk assessment? We actually do, CDOT actually does a separate risk workshop as well to look at project risks for design and cost estimating, and these dovetail together, as Mark will talk about, but that's really a factor as well. If at that point a delivery method is not crystal clear, doesn't really bubble to the top that one is better than the other, then we look at cost, staff experience, level of oversight and control, and competition and contractor experience. So again, ideally you can get through it in just these 4 discussion points. If you need to get into the 8 discussion points, then you can do that. So what's the result? The result's a project delivery decision report, okay? Something that the project manager can take to the leadership or can show the designers and say, this is why we made this delivery decision, okay? It's very concise, just a few pages long. It has that project description we talked about. It has the project goals. Again, you put them down in writing, black and white. What are your project goals? Then it has the primary models considered. Sometimes you'll won't be able to look at design build because you're too far into the design already. You don't want to go back and write performance criteria. Sometimes you might not be able to use another alternative delivery method because of statutory issue. And then it has this idea of opportunities and obstacles, or risks that are involved and benefits.
That project is in Pueblo. I-25 ILEX project is in Pueblo, Colorado. The project engineer had no idea what kind of delivery method to use, so they used this matrix that we've developed at CDOT, and they brought in all their specialty units, like the right-of-way people, the utilities people, the environmental people, and discussed a lot of characteristics of the projects, what the risks may be, some of the goals of the projects, and then after a 4-hour half-day workshop, they came up with design build as the best project delivery method for that project. So it's been tested so far on 6 projects. There's 8 parameters that we look in the matrix. Schedule is one, innovation is one, cost is definitely, but it's a secondary parameter. We split it into primary factors and secondary factors. Schedule, innovation, and risks are the primary factors. And then the other factors are like contractor availability, costs, third-party agreements, kind of like utility agreements. So those are some of the factors we look at. And basically, we have a flow chart also that helps the project managers go through this matrix. And we have it's a 27-page document, so there's a lot of description there, and there's a lot of tools that assist them to go through this process. Yeah, again, we're excited. I think this is a great tool. Eventually, Keith Molenaar has some kind of funding to take this to the next level and have a national manual. This is only a Colorado-based experience, so it's only a Colorado DOT tool. So the next step is to take it to the national level, and he has the funding to do that. And initially the idea came that we did not have one, but there is effort to do something nationally. Well, we said, well, let's try to do it here in Colorado first. We don't have 2 or 3 years to wait. We need to back up those regions and help them right now. So I think the next level is to take it nationally, and Keith is going to maybe can talk a little more about it. But I think it's been a very positive tool. It's been endorsed by our chief engineer, by many people in our different regions. We have 6 regions at CDOT, and we're just very excited. It's like a kid finding or getting a new toy and just basically playing with it all the time. So we're just excited, and we're going to keep going. It's been only about 6 months since we put this out to the regions, but we're excited. I think there's a great potential there. So.